Okay, let's get into Mark Carney at the EU summit because he's declared previously, he actually campaigned on it. Our security and trade relationship with the Americans is over as we know it. And then he goes to the G7 and he's like, oh, hello, Mr. Trump. Nice to see you. Do I curtsy? What do I do right now? Yes, just putting on the chapstick. And so again, it depends on the audience, I suppose he's speaking to, which shows a man of little integrity, right? You should be the same person that you are, no matter what audience you're in front of, whether you are in front of your friends and family or the public, they should know who you are. Of course, there are like things that we might gossip about to each other, but people should know you if they know you at all. Right. And with Mark Carney, you just never know which Mark Carney you're going to get. Does he hate the Americans today? Does he love Donald Trump today? You don't know. I think he hates the Americans again, according to this little snippet from the EU-Canada summit.
A world that's more dangerous and divided. A time where the rules-based international, the global order, rules-based global order is under threat, in a time when technological change is accelerating. And we really have two choices as a jurisdiction, as a country in this circumstance. We can nostalgically look back and long for the old order to somehow return, or we can build a new one with purpose and partnership. And as the most European of the non-European countries, Canada looks first to the European Union to build a better world.
I don't look to the Europeans.
And that's what today is about. It's about building on our triple alignment of values, of interests, and of trust built over the years. And so today, this is a new era of cooperation. Our strategic Canada-EU or EU-Canada strategic partnership for the future will build a new and deeper relationship that brings us closer together, from defense to digital, from supply chains to security. We're launching comprehensive negotiations across multiple areas of cooperation, connection, trade, security, digital, climate. And this will make us both more resilient and more prosperous. In many respects, what we're committing to, from our perspective, Canada's perspective, is an ongoing process to an ever closer partnership that will bring our people closer together.
Okay, how many, hands up, everyone. Who here voted for a new world order?
Right.
Okay, so that's none of us. None of us then. And yet this is exactly what Mark Carney is saying. He's saying that we're undertaking a new relationship with the European Union, who is, P.S., evil incarnate, on the digital front, on the climate front, on messaging.
On the digital front, where they censor everything.
I mean, this is insane, what we just heard here. This is insane. Nobody voted for this. I did not vote for this. No, I do not want this. I don't want European overlords determining what I here in Saskatchewan can do, or what you there in Alberta can do, or what you in across the country of Canada can do. I don't want this at all.
He slid in the climate stuff there. By the way, I hope Mark Carney, who did spend a great deal of time in the UK, I do hope he understands Brexit, because Great Britain was like, no, we got to get out of this. Like, these people are crazy. We got to get out of there. And he's like, how do we get some of that? Which seems like a terrible idea.
And interestingly enough, when the Brexit question was roiling in the UK, and it was a hard, ugly thing that was happening there.
But what did
Mark Carney,
as Thuricall said, it was called, I think, Project Fear.
Yes.
That was the anti-campaign. The reason I know that is because Ezra brought it up and said, the closer Albertans get towards independence, whatever that looks like, we are going to be subject to our own Project Fear.
Yes. And Mark Carney was on the pro-European Union tour. So as as the president of the Bank of England at the time, he was saying, no, we need stronger relationships with the EU. Britain definitely wants to stay within the European Union, and it would be catastrophic economically to back out of the European Union. So he worked overtime
This is
to
his
keep
mulligan.
Britain, yes, it's exactly what's happening, Sheila. That is
Yeah.
exactly what's happening. And so if we look at this in terms of what Canada is being dragged into with summits like this, it is not going to be good for us because the people of Britain voted to get the hell out of the European Union. It did not benefit them in the least. And as a matter of
Right.
fact, it showed their quality of life plummet during the time that they were a part of the European Union. Just layers of complication and layers of regulations and layers of they were like, life was way easier before we joined the European Union. We want to go back. Like
Right.
we want to go back to easier, better times for ourselves. So that Mark Carney is slow walking us down a garden path towards some sort
Joining
of
the
partnership.
EU. Joining the
Mm,
EU. That was
mm,
mused during the campaign. Um,
insane. This is
yeah.
actually insane, Canada. Yeah.
And look, I'm not against stronger trade ties with Europe. Like if they want stuff and we're selling it, I'm happy.
Yep.
I'm happy. You want our agricultural product? Great. You want our oil and gas? I know
Perfect.
you wanted it, but Justin Trudeau said there's no business case. But he snuck in the climate stuff right at the end. And here's my problem with that.
Yeah.
Because Mark Carney has talked about this before he was a public figure in politics, when he was just a
A civil
climate
servant.
climate sabotage bankster with the UN and then GFANs. The EU right now is implementing a carbon border adjustment mechanism, the CBAM. It's a carbon tariff. They're introducing this in 2026. And what this means is, and Carney has talked about this, if we are bringing in goods from places that don't have a carbon tax,
Oh, they're going to add it.
we care so deeply about the environment that we are going to add it on inbound goods and then pass that cost along to the consumer, thus making everything more expensive, meaning that goods that are made in jurisdictions that don't have carbon taxes, like let's say the United States or China, well, they are not getting the benefit of that because the consumer is going to pay for it as though it had a carbon tax. We're putting a carbon tariff on that. And Mark Carney has mused about that. And that is particularly chilling since our largest trading partner does not have a carbon tax. Mark Carney is a carbon tax zealot. He's trying to figure out a new way to tax us. And if all of our inbound imported consumer goods have a carbon tax, well, then he's getting us, I guess, coming and going a little bit.
This is just wild. Like this is just wild. So to win the election in Canada, he did a number of things. He branded himself as the not Justin Trudeau. He got rid of the consumer carbon tax, just like the Conservatives were campaigning on for 2 entire years. And now he is going to institute an even huger international carbon tax scheme that works across continents and borders. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Canada, you were sold a bill of goods that this guy cannot cash, and this is going to be a disaster for Canada. You mark our words.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he snuck in that climate stuff right at the end.